Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts Bringing Value Home. Mohammed claims of political persecution after police attempted to arrest him for allegedly obstructing the course of justice. President Ali vows to lower taxes and tackle high cost of living, part of 2025 party manifesto. Every sport facility to boast high-performance center. Norton roasts government over incomplete facilities. And the child rapist and ex-GTU President Conwin King sentenced to 19 years behind bars. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Thursday, 17th July 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. Presidential candidate Alhassan Muhammad says he remains the target of political persecution after being questioned by police in connection with a matter involving a party activist. He's now calling on the Carter Center and other international observers to take note of what he describes as politically motivated actions. More details from Tiana Cole.
Presidential candidate for the Reinvested National Party win, Alhassan Muhammad, on Thursday, addressed reporters after leaving the Ramveld police station. Muhammad had been questioned in relation to allegations of attempting to obstruct the course of justice in a matter involving one of his party's activists, Bradley Sampson, also known as Doggy. Muhammad stated that on Wednesday evening, 3 van-load of police officers descended on his Providence property in pursuit of him, but he was not there at the time.
I contacted my attorneys and we came down here 9:30 this morning. I was arrested and for 4 hours, I was sitting here for 4 hours. I had 2 meetings to attend, one in Wakenham, over 100 persons waiting there to see me, and one in Bartica.
Muhammad, who was sent away without charges filed, stated that the investigation is politically driven.
This is a clear case of political persecution. Clear case. I hope the Carter Center and all the different observers are taking note of what is going on.
In a statement, the Guyana Police Force said that a woman who was allegedly assaulted by Sampson on Tuesday claimed she was detained against her will by armed security guards at WIN's campaign office on the east bank of Demerara. The police further stated that the woman alleged that Muhammad instructed her not to pursue the matter and offered her $500,000 to settle the issue. Muhammad, however, denied all allegations. He explained that he only contacted the woman to apologize on behalf of himself and the party, stressing a strong stance against violence towards women. One of Muhammad's attorneys, Damian De Silva, said that even if the allegations were accurate, seeking settlements is not illegal.
In cases where people reach out to the VC to settle a matter, that's quite normal, right? But the allegation is, in this case, is that he would have paid her $500,000 to not pursue the matter. Mr. Muhammad has denied all allegations at this point.
His other attorney, Sayandru John, echoed similar sentiments, stating that no actual offense was committed.
The allegation, its length and breadth, is that he allegedly offered someone money, $500,000, to settle a grievance with a third party. Now, there is nothing nefarious about that. In fact, across the length of this country, courts would encourage parties. Y'all talk about it. Y'all try to settle it.
Durjan also revealed that although the police claimed to have received a statement from the complainant, they were unable to make contact with her for several hours. Law enforcement said telephone calls went unanswered and the complainant was not at home when they paid a visit. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Night.
President Ali on Wednesday vowed to lower the cost of living, reduce taxes, fuel growth, and create more job opportunities for Guyanese. This was revealed during Wednesday's consultation on the People's Progressive Party Civic's manifesto as the ruling party seeks re-election.
On Wednesday, President Irfan Ali participated in a consultation on the People's Progressive Party Civic's 2025 manifesto alongside the General Secretary Bartica and other members of his party. He claimed that a more drastic approach to addressing the high cost of living and providing more disposable income would be taken if his party were given another chance on September 1, 2025.
And Guyana was singled out as one of the countries that would have embraced a holistic approach to cost of living issues. And as a result, we were able to ensure that most of the effect of global cost increases was not passed on to the final consumer.
President Ali stated that in order to finance small and medium-sized businesses, his administration would set up a development bank.
We want to establish a development bank to support co-financing, to support access to liquidity, to reduce the cost of borrowing.
The head of state has also vowed to remove the collateral requirement when seeking access to loans, since these are burdens that the small and medium-sized enterprises face daily.
So if you're able to match lending with a 0% interest rate, we can bring down the interest rate in the commercial bank from 6% or 7% to 3% for SMEs. Remove the risk by making the matching rate available. Remove the risk. The bank in turn will have to reduce that collateral requirement that is there right now.
Confident that he will be re-elected, the president has vowed to open 100,000 acres of farmlands for cultivation and invest in agro-processing hubs and the manufacturing of services sector. The location for his election campaign promise was, however, not revealed. While the PPPC's manifesto targets 2025 to 2030, he has not effectively addressed the high living costs locally, as well as food security. Aubrey Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity, has on numerous occasions chided the government for not holistically addressing inflation and food security.
We have outlined positions to relieve those votes in terms of our agriculture, etc. This government only talks about agriculture and food security. They do nothing.
Should the PPPC government win the seat of government come September 2, would mean the party will be occupying the seat of the government for more than 30 years. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Guyanese are being promised high-performance sports centers should the People's Progressive Party Civic government return to power after the September 1 polls. Antonio Day tells us more.
At his party's manifesto consultation on Wednesday at the Princess Ramada Hotel along the east bank of Demerara, head of state Irfan Ali said that his government will continuously invest in sport tourism.
You have seen in just 2 years how the Global Super League is growing. This is a product that will be owned by Guyana.
According to Ali, every sporting discipline will have high-performance center should the People Progressive Party Civic return to office after the September 1 polls. Major upgrades are being undertaken at several facilities across Guyana, including the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall on home stretch and the Mackenzie Sports Club ground in Linden, all part of President Ali's vision to make Guyana a premier destination for world-class events. This vision, though, has been somewhat tainted by several projects, including those alluded to earlier, that are all yet to be completed. In December of 2022, ECS Construction and General Supplies was awarded a contract by the government to rehabilitate the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall to the tune of $47 million. A further $237 million was awarded in 2023, $8 million in 2024. Thinking the project would have been completed by today, a further $59 million was added to the 2024 allocation. In 2025, a further $73 million contract was awarded to Sovereignty Investment for the construction of an asphalt parking lot. Earlier this year, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport told the media that the government has since invested some $321 million in various works at the building. The project to date remains incomplete. The same can be said for the Mackenzie Sports Club ground. Aubrey Norton, the presidential candidate for the Partnership for National Unity, has called out the ALETHEA regime on its failure to complete the Mackenzie Sports Ground and the Bayrock synthetic track in London.
When a government cannot complete athletics track or 2 athletics track in 5 years, when a government destroys the Mackenzie Sports Club and in 5 years cannot complete it,
monies are continuously wasted on incomplete projects, Mr. Norton reasoned.
That with the failures of this government, no one wants to question the failure. I understand why, because the government is vindictive.
Antonio D reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Antonio. Join us after this break for more news. Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. The Guyana Teachers Union is back in the news. This time, we will tell you that a former president of the union has been sentenced to nearly 2 decades in prison for the rape of a 16-year-old girl. The sentence follows a unanimous guilty verdict by a jury last month. Tiana Cole has the details.
Former Guyana Teachers Union GTU President Conwin King was on Thursday sentenced to 19 years in prison for raping a 6-year-old girl in April 2021. The sentence was handed down by Justice Simon Morris at the Demerara High Court. Last month, a jury returned a unanimous guilty verdict on 2 counts of rape of a female child under 16, both committed in April 2021. Evidence presented during the trial revealed that the offences took place on 2 occasions, one at night and the other in the afternoon when no one else was present. Throughout the trial, King was represented by attorney at law Tanza Sarabo, while state counsels Montaz Ali and Geneva Wills appeared for the prosecution. King is no stranger to the courtroom. In 2009, he was charged with raping a child at a hotel on Princess Street, Georgetown. He was released on $100,000 bail and committed to stand trial in the High Court on October 28, 2011. The matter ended in 2016 when a jury acquitted him of the charge. In the wake of the 2021 allegation, King resigned from his position as president of the Guyana Teachers Union and as administrator of the Ghana Industrial Training Center after the young victim came forward and police launched an investigation. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A cross-border incident involving the Guyana Police Force and Surinamese authorities have triggered legal outrage and raised major constitutional and human rights concerns. Attorneys representing a Guyanese businessman are calling the act a case of kidnapping and violation of his right. Here again is Tiana Cole.
Following the alleged kidnapping of a Guyanese man by members of the Guyana Police Force and his subsequent unlawful handover to Surinamese authorities for an alleged murder, serious questions are now being raised about constitutional rights and international legal protocols. On Thursday, lawyers representing businessman Raymond David held a press conference to address the incident, which occurred on June 18, 2025. Attorney at law Dr. Dexter Todd explained that on June 19, David was taken to Springlands Police Station. Later that day, 6 Surinamese police officers arrived and removed him from the station. He was then transported by boat to Suriname, where he remains in custody.
Raymond David has retained counsel in Suriname, and they have verified that at no point in time the Surinamese authorities were investigating Raymond David for any murder.
Dr. Todd noted that while the case is being presented as extradition, the way it was executed amongst the kidnapping. Legal consultant Eden Corbin explained that extradition proceedings in Guyana are governed by the Fugitive Offenders Act. He emphasized that for a person to be extradited, specific steps must be followed. The requesting country must also be a Commonwealth state and meet the legal requirements under the Act.
An extradition request must be submitted to the Minister of Foreign Affairs as well as the Minister of Home Affairs in our case, and the request must have particular documentation.
Meanwhile, Attorney Dexter Smart, also representing David, said they will be filing an urgent constitutional application seeking declarations from the court.
His arrest
detention, and removal from Guyana was unlawful, breach of the Fugitive Offenders Act, and should not be taken lightly. It's also a violation of his fundamental rights.
The intended court actions will be brought against the state, the Minister of Home Affairs, the Commissioner of Police, and the named police officers involved in the incident. Davis' sister Agisha Alda said the entire ordeal has shocked the family. She described the brother as a law-abiding citizen.
Our family is feeling violated in many ways because we are born Guyanese. What is the motive for it? I have no idea.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We have more news for you. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, is reminding employers of the legal provisions to grant employees the requisite time off to vote on election day. GCOM on Thursday said employers should be cognizant that persons may be required to work or will be stationed away from their respective polling district on duty during the conduct of the polls. The elections body pointed to Section 81(1) of the Representation of the People Act, Chapter 103, makes it mandatory that, quote, every employer shall permit every elector in his employ other than an elector on whose behalf another elector has been appointed to vote as a proxy to be absent from his work on election day for a reasonable time in addition to the normal midday meal hour for the purpose of voting at the election, and no employer shall make any deduction from pay or other remuneration of any such elector or impose on him or extract from him any penalty by reason of his absence during such period, end of quote. Accordingly, employees are advised that it is their constitutional right to vote at the election, and it is also their responsibility to engage their respective employers ahead of time to discuss the requisite time off and to obtain the necessary approvals. Failure on the part of any employer to grant such request constitutes an election offense and can be fined $65,000 and imprisonment for 6 months. Bartica Secondary School now has a brand new, more than $360 million practical instruction department, part of the Ministry of Education's ongoing efforts to change Guyana's educational system. Antonio Day has that story.
On Wednesday, the Practical Instruction Department PID attached to the Bartica Secondary was unveiled. This milestone marks the 6th facility completed on the Guyana Skills Development and Employability Project, which is transforming education for youth in the workforce. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Education Minister Priya Manichan stated the intentions of the facility.
Children could learn motor repairs and commercial food preparation, furniture making, welding, masonry.
Minister Manichan noted that the facility offers opportunities for students who are interested in information technology or computer-based careers.
Use the resource center we have, do computer training and IT type work.
She noted that similar facilities have already been opened at locations such as Fellowship, Hopetown, Bedford-Walton, and St. Ignatius, which each serving as hub for skill development and empowerment. The newly commissioned Bartica PID is a modern purpose-built training center constructed by KP Thomas and Sons and supervised by Semco Engineering. The facility costs $273 million to construct and supervise, with an additional $87 million invested in tools and equipment, bringing the total investment to more than $360 million. The project is part of GSDEP, funded by a $14.04 million partnership between the Caribbean Development Bank and the government of Guyana. This includes $11.7 million from a CDB loan, $552,000 in grants, and $1.79 million in counterpart funding from Guyana. It reflects the government's broader intention to provide students with real options, academic and practical. It includes a commercial kitchen with professional culinary equipment and workshop for motor vehicles and small engines, equipped with hydraulic lifts, a digital wheel alignment system, and tools for servicing everything from cars to heavy-duty machinery. The welding workshop includes MIG, acetylene equipment, while the furniture-making area is equipped with high-grade saws. There is also a masonry and plumbing workshop featuring tools like tile cutters and concrete vibrators. Additionally, a smart classroom with computers, a smart board, and Starlink internet supports digital learning. The minister also addressed the growing global conversation about the value of skills versus academic degrees. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Day. We begin with news in Jamaica. The Jamaican government is denying a statement by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security that suggested it refused to accept the return of a Jamaican man who is among 5 foreign nationals described by the United States as barbaric, criminals who have been sent to small African nation of Eswatini. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McClowan announced that men from Vietnam, Jamaica, Cuba, Yemen, and Laos were sent to Eswatini on a plane, though details of when or where were not provided. She stated that Jamaican men received a 25-year-old sentence for murder, 6 years for robbery, and 6 months for weapon possession. She said the 5 are all convicted criminals and individuals so uniquely barbaric that their home countries refuse to take them back. She stated that the Jamaican men received a 25-year sentence for murder and 6 years for robbery, 6 months for weapon possession. Over to news in Suriname. Suriname's new president, Jennifer Guyana-Simmons, said that at her swearing-in that the government must ensure that anticipated profits from offshore oil and gas improve living standards for everyone, emphasizing the need for fiscal discipline at all stages, according to Reuters. Guyana-Simmons called on our Surinamese to return to work and continue supporting one another through both good and bad times. And I quote, "Let us all work hand in hand, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, to make Suriname what we want it to be for us and our children." End of quote, she emphasized in Anthony Nesty Sports Hall as the audience cheered her on with thunderous applause and loud cheers. To strengthen her argument, she quoted the opening lines of Dubru's poem 1 and referenced Surinamese poet Srinivasi's appeal, and I quote, "Do not wander blindly through this country. Play with children who do not share your blood. Speak our languages as you embrace the world's menu. I want you to unite as one people beyond the fairy tales." End of quote. Guyana-Simmons emphasized the need to diversify Suriname's economy, which is heavily reliant on mining, initially bauxite, now gold and oil, making it vulnerable to international pricing. She pointed out the challenges of moving away from this dependence. We end with news in Ukraine. Ukraine's parliament appointed the country's first new prime minister in 5 years on Thursday, part of a major cabinet overhaul aimed at revitalizing wartime management as prospects for peace with Russia grow dim. Yulia Sriladenko, who is 39 years old, have been given the important responsibility by President Vladimir Zelensky to enhance domestic weapons production in Ukraine. In addition to this crucial task, she's also focused on reviving the country's economy, which has become heavily reliant on loans. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.
Mohamed claims political persecution after police attempted to arrest him for allegedly obstructing the course of justice. President Ali vows to lower taxes and tackle high cost of living, part of 2025 Party Manifesto. Every sport facility to boast high-performance center. Norton roasts government over incomplete facilities. And the child rapist and ex-GTU president sentenced to 19 years behind bars. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.